Hello everyone, I'm Rupert and let us talk about money. I am a senior financial consultant from Affinity Partners. Today, I will be talking about the hospitalization policy in Singapore. Everyone knows hospital bills are expensive and the medical cost is increasing every year. So this is the most important policy for everyone. This policy has changed and evolved several times since I started, and it changes so much that even some agents might not be clear on how it works. What I share today is as of August 2024. To make it simple, I have break down the policy into 4 tiers. The first tier is the MediShield Life. All Singaporean and PR will have this policy. Doesn't matter you are sick or healthy, rich or poor, you have this. Because even you have no money to pay, government will pay this for you. But if government pay for you, means you are under this Additional Premium Support Scheme, APS. If you are under APS, you should not proceed to higher tiers or else they will take away your APS benefit. So please take note of this. Medishield Life is the most basic cover which can cover you up to 150,000 in the public hospital B2 ward. However, PR has to take note that your Medishield Life does not cover the same as a Singaporean. So even if you stay in a B2 ward, only 58% of your bill will be taken into consideration. The balance 42% needs to be paid by you. So for PR, it is very important to get the next tier. The next tier is the Integrated Shield Plan, ISP. This is an enhancement on top of your MediShield Life. In Singapore, there are only 7 insurers providing this. If you want to know which insurer is the best, I'll say there is no best. That is because each of them has their own unique feature and selling point. It ultimately depends on your needs and preferences. As I mentioned from my previous video, this is actually the hardest policy to get due to the strict medical underwriting. So if there's any changes to your health, you'll risk getting an exclusion or totally decline from getting this policy. And please take note, even if you are discharged from a condition, it is still part of your medical history. And this will also affect your underwriting. So it doesn't matter if you have recovered from this condition 20 or even 30 years ago. And please don't even think about hiding your past records. Because even if they accepted you, they might dig your old records during claims. And if they find this hidden record, they can reject your claims and void your policy. For ISP, it has different tiers as well. They are from the public hospital B1 up to the private hospital. The plan can boost up your annual claim limit up to 2.5 million, depending on your choice of insurer and the tiering you get. More importantly, they remove most of the limits in MediShield Life, so you don't have to worry about exceeding them. For PR, this will also help in your proration factor in MediShield Life. The third tier is the riders. All the insurer has their own variety of rider with their own set of benefits. But the common generic benefit of a rider is to reduce the co-payment to 5% and have a stop loss feature. Stop loss means the maximum amount you need to pay for the hospital bill. The most common stop loss amount is $3,000. On top of this, some insurers also give other benefits, like discounted consultation fee in their banner GP clinic, and cash payout for some conditions. If you like this kind of benefits, you can contact me to find out which insurer provides them. Currently, there are 3 insurers that has claim-based pricing for their riders. So what is claim-based pricing? To simplify it, it works something like your car insurance. If you don't claim, you get a no-claim discount. But if you claim, you will be penalized with higher premiums on top of the removal of your discount. So it can be quite stressful when you need to claim. As different insurers structure this policy slightly differently, I will share a generic way for you to understand how it works if you go to the panel clinic. Please go to their panel clinic because not all insurers has a non-panel stop loss. Let us start without a rider. Let's put the bill as H. So the first thing you need to pay is the deductibles, D. This amount is determined by the ward that you stay. So the higher the ward you stay, the more expensive the deductibles is. The second thing you need to pay is the co-insurance, I, which is 10% of the balance after the deductibles, which is 10% of H minus D. So the total amount you need to pay will be D plus I. Now, what if you have a rider? In general, you only need to look at 5% of the bill, which is 5% of H. And if you go to the insurer panel, you will have a stop loss feature. If the stop loss is $3,000 and the 5% of H is more than the stop loss amount, you only need to pay $3,000. That is why the rider is very important, especially for very big bills. On top of the hospital bills, rider can help in your pre and post hospitalization bill as well. Because if the hospital bill is less than the deductibles, you might not be able to claim on them without a rider. With a rider, all these bills will be subject to 5% co-payment, so you still can claim 95% of the bill, which is still good. Now you know the basic structure works, let us go to the next tier. The last tier is often neglected by many advisors because some do not have a solution for this, but I do. The last tier is the cancer cover. This tier is created last year when the government introduced the cancer drug list. Let me explain this using the MOH website's CDL list. From this page, you can see for every kind of cancer, only certain drugs can be claimed. And for every drug, you need to take note of these three things. Firstly, the MediShield Life Claim Limit. This is the amount you can claim using your MediShield Life. Normally, ISP will provide 5 times of this amount as the coverage, and the riders will further enhance this coverage with more multipliers. We normally term this as the CDL multiplier. Secondly, you need to look at the MediSave withdrawal limit. It means the amount you can pay using your MediSave for these drugs. Anything exceeding this amount, you need to pay by cash. Lastly, for some of the drugs, there is a maximum duration of 2 years. It means after 2 years, you cannot claim for these drugs anymore. This applies to all the tiers up to rider. The logic behind this is, since CDLEs cannot claim, it means zero benefits. So no matter how many multipliers the ISP and the riders give, they still multiply by 0, which is equal to 0. So no coverage. Currently, there are 31 out of 376 drugs has this 2-year limitation. However, good news, there is actually one product in the market which can continue to cover you after the 2 years, but you have to subject to the deductibles. I do not want to name any products in my video, but if you are interested, you can contact me to find out. And for this, I want to point out that some advisors might ask clients to buy cancer payout policy to cover this shortfall. Yes, it does help to a certain extent, but this is actually not the right tool because it can only help you until the payout runs out. So please take note of this. The product I'm talking about allows claim up to 1.5 million annually and can be claimed with any ISP and riders. At the moment, I don't think any insurer has a 1.5 million cancer payout policy. Even if it exists, it will be very, very expensive. So for all these tiers, only MediShield Life and ISP can use MediSave to pay for the premiums. But for ISP, it is only allowed up to the MediSave annual withdrawal limit. The rest need to use cash to pay. Now you know all about all the tiers of the hospitalization policy. Let me explain to you something that many people are confused about, and that is LOG. So what is LOG? Log. Log stands for Letter of Guarantee. Having a log or e-log doesn't mean your claim is approved. It only helps you with the waiver of the initial deposit before your procedures or admission. And log are issued by insurers to hospital to help the clients. But hospital has the right to reject it as well. To avoid such an issue, it is best just to go to the insurer panel. Lastly, I will explain about the claims for the ISP and rider. I'm sure many have questions on how the flow is like. So let me explain using a common scenario. Let's say you have a stomach ache. So you go to the nearby GP clinic and you see a doctor. But the doctor feels that this is a very serious condition and refers you to the hospital. For the receipt for this clinic, please keep them. You can claim this with the pre-hospitalization benefit. Similarly, if you go for an X-ray or MRI before your admission, all these diagnostic procedures can be claimed under pre-hospitalization. Now, you probably will have to go to the hospital by ambulance, Grab, or taxi. Please note that some insurance riders allows you to claim for this taxi or Grab as well. So you have to take note and keep the receipts. They might not be limited to ambulance only. At the A&E, they will probably ask you to pay the A&E fee. There is no difference if you pay or not at this point. Because if you are admitted, this will be added into your hospital bill. And if you pay for it, no worries. You can still claim for the receipt under the pre-hospitalization as well. Then when A&E refers you to the admission, you will go to the admission counter. This is where you will sign a medical claims authorization form and choose which ward tier you want to stay. You will also get to know your estimated bill size here. Then you'll be admitted and get your treatment. After your treatment, if everything is in place, then you'll be discharged and go home. At this point, the hospital will check on your MediSave records to see which ISP you have, and they will send your bills to the insurer for claim assessment. Over at the insurers, they might check further if they suspect anything, or they may even issue something like a search warrant to check all your neighborhood clinics to see if you have any medical history or if you're hiding anything in the health declaration. After everything is clear, they will approve the claims and pay out the portion to the hospital, and the hospital will bill the balance to your MediSave. This normally will take about 3 weeks, and you will see a finalized bill showing how much the insurer pays, how much is deducted from your MediSave, and lastly, the amount you need to pay using cash if the amount exceeds your MediSave withdrawal limits. Now that you have the finalized bill, time for you to inform your agent to help you claim for any pre- and post-hospitalization receipts. This is including your clinic receipts, the taxi or Grab receipt, the A&E receipt, and any follow-up checkup receipt up to this point. Please note, most but not all ISP have post-hospitalization benefit up to 365 days. So any follow-up checkups or to change bandage, all these receipts can be claimed. So don't throw these receipts away. If your agent is good, right, they can guide you on how to claim the co-payment using other policies, if that is possible. In Affinity Partners, we always have one golden rule for our clients. Always call us first. If something happens, because it is our job to make sure you are using the right policy and ensure your claims are as smooth as possible. In summary, today I have shared about the 4 tiers of hospitalization policy, the generic function of the riders, how CDL affects you, and the claim process for this policy. My next video will be talking about the disability income policy in Singapore. If you want to learn more, just subscribe to my channel and follow me in Instagram to not miss out on the content that I will be posting, which will definitely benefit you and your wallet. Goodbye.